Okay, let's just jump right into it. The AI arms race is moving at an absolutely incredible pace, and this week, whew, it was no exception. We've got everything from lawsuits and massive funding rounds to some new tech that will just bend your mind. So yeah, let's get into this week's biggest moves.
And we are starting off with a bombshell. I mean, Elon Musk did not mince words here. His company, XAI, has filed a lawsuit against a former employee, and the accusation is pretty serious. They're claiming this employee, Shu-Chin Lee, basically took their confidential information and trade secrets right before walking out the door to a new job at, you guessed it, OpenAI. But this isn't just about one lawsuit. This whole situation is the perfect snapshot of the high-stakes, high-tension world of AI right now. The competition is getting absolutely fierce, the money flowing in is just getting bigger and bigger, and those lines between who's a partner and who's a competitor are getting very blurry.
So first up, let's break down these corporate battles. This is where billions of dollars and really strategic dominance for the future are on the line.
So here's the breakdown. On one side, you have XAI claiming their former employee took proprietary code for their Grok model after accepting a job at OpenAI. And get this, right after selling $7 million in XAI stock. It's like a classic corporate espionage plot, but for the AI age. And speaking of money, let's pivot to Anthropic for a second, one of OpenAI's biggest competitors. The company just raised a staggering $13 billion in new funding. That pushes its total valuation to over $18 billion. I mean, that is just a colossal amount of capital.
So why are investors throwing that kind of money at them? Well, just look at this explosive growth. Their projected annual revenue, what they call a run rate, grew 5 times over in just 8 months, from $1 billion to $5 billion. That's just an incredible signal of demand for their Claude models, and it's exactly what investors want to see.
And the spending spree, it does not stop there. OpenAI just went out and made one of its largest acquisitions ever, dropping $1.1 billion in an all-stock deal. So who did they buy?
They picked up a company called StatSig. And what StatSig does is build tools for developers so they can test out and fine-tune new product features before they go live. Now, this is a really strategic move. It tells us OpenAI isn't just focused on building bigger and bigger models, they're getting serious about perfecting the entire user experience.
And now for what might be a huge strategic shift in the industry. For years, right, we've all seen Microsoft as OpenAI's biggest partner, their biggest backer. Well, that's changing. Microsoft is now stepping directly into the ring to build its own foundational models completely from the ground up. And they're not just talking about it, they're already shipping product. Their new text model, MAI-1, just debuted at a pretty respectable number 13 on the LM Arena leaderboard, which is a popular ranking site for AI models. They also released MAI Voice 1 for natural voice generation. The message here is crystal clear. Microsoft is building its own arsenal.
Okay, let's shift gears now, because all this competition, all this money flying around, it's fueling an absolute explosion of new technology. The pace of innovation we're seeing right now, it's just breathtaking. So remember just a few weeks ago, we saw that figure robot tackle doing laundry? That was a huge leap for robotics. So what complex, delicate, real-world task could they possibly teach it next?
That's right, my most hated chore. We're now seeing the same robot delicately handling plates, placing them in a dishwasher. I mean, look at the fine motor control that requires. It might seem slow, but the progress they've made in just a year is astonishing. This is embodiment in action.
Okay, from the physical world back to the digital, check this out. There's a new open source model called Video Folly, and it can generate realistic audio for any silent video clip. You just feed it the video, add a simple text prompt like a person snowboarding, and bam, it creates the whole soundscape. It can even match the physics, like the sound of skateboard wheels grinding on concrete. The evolution of AI video is just happening so fast. A new model from a company called Core AI allows for real-time video generation. You can literally drag and move an object on one side of the screen, and the AI-generated video updates instantly to reflect that change. It's like having a magic paintbrush for video.
And innovation isn't just about doing brand new things. It's also about doing them way more efficiently. Look at this. Microsoft's new RSRv2 model, with only 14 billion parameters, is actually outperforming a massive 671 billion parameter model on complex math reasoning. It just goes to show you that bigger isn't always better.
Sometimes smart training and architecture can be a total game changer.
So, all this tech is fascinating, right? But how is it actually starting to affect our daily lives, our health, and our society?
This is just incredible. A new AI system called SeeMe is being used to analyze subtle facial movements in coma patients, and the results are profound. It's detecting signs of what's called covert consciousness. These are purposeful movements that signal a patient might be able to recover, on average 4.1 days earlier than human doctors. This could fundamentally change outcomes for patients and their families.
Now, as AI-generated content gets more and more realistic, governments are starting to take action. China has just mandated that major social media platforms like WeChat and Douyin have to clearly label any content that is AI-generated. It's a huge step, and it's all aimed at fighting misinformation and just creating more transparency online.
The companies themselves are also responding to a lot of the safety concerns we're hearing about. As you can see here, OpenAI is rolling out a major suite of new features for ChatGPT. They're focusing heavily on crisis intervention and, crucially, adding new parental controls to help manage how teenagers use the platform.
So, after a week filled with lawsuits, billion-dollar deals, and these breakthrough technologies, what does it all mean? Well, we're seeing a really clear trend. Intense competition is fueling rapid-fire innovation, and that innovation is leading to much faster integration of AI into the real world. From our hospitals to our social media feeds, even to the chores we do in our homes, AI is arriving. The technology is moving forward at this exponential rate, which really raises a simple but profound question for all of us. As it gets smarter and faster and weaves itself into the very fabric of our lives, are we truly ready for what comes next?